Rapfest Radio on rapfestradio.com. We're not number one. God is. We may not be the best, but our purpose is to lead you to the best. Jesus Christ. www.rapfestradio.com. Old school to new school. Classics to exclusives. Gospel, hip-hop music and videos. Live video interviews Monday nights at 8 p.m. Monday nights at 8 p.m. Watch. Learn. Love. Support. Rapfest Radio on rapfestradio.com. Rapfestradio.com. Rapfestradio.com.
Some trust in us on chariot. We trust in the true and living God, you know?
Let's go.
Man, I step up, you know, said that them can't talk to we. Turn the flame up and take it to 100 degree. Man, I step up, you know, said that them can't talk to we. Turn the flame up and take it to 100 degree. Man, I step up, you know, said that them can't talk to we. Turn the flame up and take it to 100 degree. Man, I step up, you know, said that them can't talk to we. Turn the flame up and take it to 100 degree.
Give me the map, no matter where I'm coming from. Give me the Bible, in my hand. What if I step it up a little bit faster? Don't bother with the crime and disaster. Who's in the pretty minute, how we stand? Cross a couple of wicked run, say what a bam bam. Magna said you worry that your manifestation. Look, I'm still about the rhythm, still about the version.
Man, I'm running, I really wanna go higher. And I'm running and gunning at the Messiah. And I'm really pushing and making my way to Zion. Anybody else in the building got a desire? Go deeper, go seek 'em. You don't wanna settle for mediocre than fire. It's burning, it's white hot, and I got a fantasy so that I never retire.
Man, I step up, you know, said that them can't talk to we. Turn the flame up and take it to 100 degree. Man, I step up, you know, said that them can't talk to we. Turn the flame up and take it to 100 degree. Man, I step up, you know, said that them can't talk to we. Turn the flame up and take it to 100 degree. Man, I step up, you know, said that them can't talk to we. Turn the flame up and take it to 100.
Never check out what about thing that can get me out of this. Make it best time, make it the melody, what's the place? I'm a father, give it the love and the grace. Hey, of the ability to finish the race. Now make it up, go back to the bitch, show for the Trapiana. Tell the world who will say, Father, gotta be the man. Stop it, I'm asking over the master of the version. God number one.
Everybody in the building got a hand up. Only cause he delivered and took the handcuffs. Oh, been forgiven by the master. Let it you live and you never want to be stagnant. No, know that could be a hazard. Even though you weary the spirit, I hear the masters call. Keep pressing the perseverance, take it all the way up to you. Home.
Man, I step up, you know, said that them can't talk to we. Turn the flame up and take it to 100 degree. Man, I step up, you know, said that them can't talk to we. Turn the flame up and take it to 100 degree. Man, I step up, you know, said that them can't talk to we. Turn the flame up and take it to 100 degree. Man, I step up, you know, said that them can't talk to we. Turn the flame up and take it to 100 degree.
Where is your zeal? Why you looking down? Keep your head up high, no man can take your crown.
Eyes to the sky.
Father God will find a better way. Open up your eyes to see another day. Where is your zeal? Why you looking down? Keep your head up high, no man can take your crown. Father God will find a better way. Open up your eyes to see.
We ain't done yet.
Man, I step up, you know, said that them can't talk to we. Turn the flame up and take it to 100 degree. Man, I step up, you know, said that them can't talk to we. Turn the flame up and take it to 100 degree. Man, I step up, you know, said that them can't talk to we. Turn the flame up and take it to 100 degree. Man, I step up, you know, said that them can't talk to we. Turn the flame up and take it to 100 degree.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rap Fest Radio, rapfestradio.com. We're here live once again on a Monday night. We just finished watching Papa San and the Truth video, which is like got you crazy hype. You can get that album, by the way, the Truth's album, Heartbeat Off the Hook. Make sure you go to iTunes and download that CD. The project is great. He introduces a lot of new artists from Mixed Bag Records on there as well. You know, shout out to the whole Mixed Bag Records. You all right?
Sorry. When I get nervous, I just start laughing. So
oh no, you're gonna be laughing all night?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I'm in a good mood. I got a cup of coffee. We're good.
So Mixed Bag Records, man. Shout out to all those people out there, Mixed Bag Records. Nervous Kevin Becker here to my right, and his brother Mike as well. Good Wolf, Bad Wolf, we'll be talking to them tonight. I do want to give some announcements real quick. First, no more submissions being accepted. RapFest submissions deadline was April 30th, so we're done with that. Thank you to every artist that submitted their demo package to us. We'll be going through those shortly and letting everybody know who got selected, etc., etc. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, just hit us up, rapfestinc@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you and let you know what's going on. Also, shout out to Grateful Apparel, gratefulapparel.com, as well as holyculture.net, purestream.tv, and bxrecords.com, all of our sponsors that help us make this stuff possible and help us get the word out there. And I have some other exciting news regarding Rap Fest. We're going to be partnering with Jam the Hype. That's jamthehype.com. They're going to be helping us out and promoting Rap Fest, and we have a lot of other things that we're going to be working on in the background as well. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that. We'll probably put out a blast on a press release in a couple of days, letting everybody know exactly what to expect with Jam the Hype and Rap Fest. I've been speaking to those guys there for a while, so we're really excited about having them on board with us as well. If you want to get involved with Rap Fest as a sponsor, donate some money, whatever you can help us with, go to rapfestinc.com and you'll see the details there. There's different levels of sponsorship, including vendor table spots as well. If you want to volunteer services, just hit us up, rapfestinc@gmail.com, and tell us you're available and willing to help. And if there's a preference area where you want to help at, you know, we'll try to fit you in there. But we can use as many people as possible for August 9th, 2014, 21st anniversary, 21. Every year is an anniversary, right? Every year, once a year. It's our 21st year, Rap Fest 2014, August 9th, in the Bronx, Vidalia Park, East 180th Street. With the storytellers back on stage, Brother E, Eric E, Lord's Ambassador, and myself, with a live band, as well as DJ Breakbeat Lou in the building, and others as well. It's going to be dope. We're excited. We can't wait. But now, let's get to Good Wolf, Bad Wolf.
All right, Bert.
Good Wolf, Bad Wolf. Kevin and Mike, well, let's do the formal introduction.
Okay.
Here, go ahead. I'll let you introduce yourself to the people and let them know who you are.
Well, my name is Kevin Becker. This is my brother Mike. We've been making music for a long time. I think since I was probably 15 and maybe earlier than that.
Yeah.
I remember we were making music from like MIDI programs. Music Sculptor. Big up to Music Sculptor. That's what got us into making music. And pretty much like I was good with poetry. Mikey was really talented with music, and so we've been making music a long time. And it just recently we just amped it up a little bit. So, you got anything else, Mike?
No, just we've been working at it for a long time. We had some bumps in the roads, and we're finally coming together. And we're really happy with a lot of the outcomes of a lot of the music we're making now. So it's exciting.
That's great. Now, you guys, the group that you put together is called Good Wolf, Bad Wolf.
Yes.
I mean, I read the description online, so why don't you just share that description of where the Good Wolf, Bad Wolf concept came from?
Okay, well, pretty much, I'm sure a lot of people have heard this story before, but it was an original story told by Billy Graham at one of his crusades, and it's been changed, so it's not really an ancient parable. They play it like it's some ancient Cherokee parable, but it's really not. But basically, it's a story about... there's an Indian chief, and this young brave comes up to the Indian chief, and he's struggling with issues. He's struggling with good thoughts and bad thoughts in his head, and the old chief looks at him and says, "Look, son, inside every man there's a good wolf and there's a bad wolf. The bad wolf represents anger, hate, destruction. The good wolf represents love, forgiveness and reconciliation." And the young brave looks at the old chief and he says, "Well, who wins?" And the old chief says, "The one you feed." And I kind of feel like inside of me, even recently, inside of a lot of people's lives, there's always that struggle, like to, what's right, what's wrong, because life isn't always black and white. There's so much gray.
Right.
And you're always struggling for, like, what's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? So that's where it's kind of, and even my writing over the past couple months, it's been, I find myself in a lot of gray areas and struggling for what's right and what's wrong, and just trying to feed the good wolf. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
and it's gray areas for us, because for God it's either white or black. There's no gray area for God. And I think that's where our struggle comes, where we're aware of this, that God is either black or white, there's no in between. Yeah. And I think that's where our biggest struggle comes, where we know that we have to pick either the white area or the black area. We can't be in both areas. And I think that's where the inner battle for us becomes so much more intense, because as Christians, I think for most Christians, our major goal is to please our Creator and Maker. And when we find ourselves in these gray areas, we battle within ourselves to try to better ourselves, and that becomes such a huge spiritual battle for us.
Yep. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So you're gonna get this question, I'm sure, every time your name goes on a flyer, up for an event, or a song, or whatever it is. Which is the good, which is the bad?
They're both inside both of us.
That's a cheap answer.
No, it's, I'm kidding. But it's the truth.
I know.
But if you were to look at the album, I mean, like, like.
No, the funny thing is, no.
Let me ask him. He looked like he was gonna answer.
No, when he first came with me with the concept of, this, so I looked at him like, so what are you trying to say? Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously we know yeah, exactly. I'm the bad wolf in the whole relationship. Is this where we're going with this? And no, obviously that wasn't the case, but it's everything.
Why did you feel that way though?
Oh, just because if you know our family dynamic, it fit 100%. If you grew up in our family, I'm definitely the black sheep, opposed to Kevin always being, Can
we talk about that for a little bit?
Of course, yeah.
Because I think it's great. I mean, we had a retreat last November. Pastor Ray Paparotti, God bless this brother, he's a great speaker. And one of the things that he spoke about that really affected most of the people there was, in your brokenness, God can use you so much. Many times we want to be perfect before we go and minister. We want to be perfect before we go before the people and tell them, God loves you, or whatever it is, or preach a message. And when he said that in your brokenness, God can use you, that's almost like saying, of course I'm the black sheep of the family, but God can still use you. But tell us a little more about that, because I think that's good for people that are listening that are probably feeling like the black sheep in their family as well.
Oh, it was just the grown up, just our different, our friends who we chose with. Kevin at a young age separated himself from a lot of the bad influences in his life, where I struggled with that, because I still just wanted to be, a young kid and party, and I had dreams of where I wanted to be at in life, and being a music producer was always something that I wanted to do. So, when you're in that industry and you're at a young age, there's a lot of, influence that are always, on top of you. So I struggled a lot when I was younger with that, where he found it easier to pretty much give everything up to God, where I struggled at a lot more. So I chose a lot more different paths that, led to hitting rock bottom pretty much. That's where we ended up going at one point. That's where I think where a lot of me and his, there was no falling out, but just a disconnect between me and him. Weren't on the same page until as of recently, when we say, about a year now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
And are there still things that you battle with, but because your relationship with God has changed, you're able to fight it better?
No, it's not that. It's just my overall look on just concentrating on Jesus and making sure he's, don't worry about everything else. And that was my problem a lot of times, was just, worry about what other people thought, and just my overall just concentrate and put God first. And that's what cleared up a lot of things, a lot of the confusion and stuff. So it was.
That's interesting you said, because sometimes we focus so much on our shortcomings that we end up not progressing, because we're so centered on our failures and our spiritual shortcomings that we limit what God wants to do in our lives. And, what you said was perfect, putting God first and knowing that He accepts me just as I am.
Of course.
There's a lot more growth needed. There's still a lot of things but it doesn't mean that it limits what God wants to do in my life. If I just give it all to Him and say, look, this is me. This is me when I fall, when I trip. This is me, but use me.
Yeah, of course. That's what it is.
Right. Total surrender. As is. Right? So, Good Wolf, Bad Wolf, you guys making music together. Who has the heavier influence in content? Like, do you guys sit down and write songs together? Do you come up with concepts on your own, or is it a group thing, or?
No, he's strictly lyrics, I'm strictly music. That's how we keep it, and we feed off each other, you know, as we're recording and stuff, what can, you know, be laid down better. But the overall, he's strictly lyrics, I'm laying down the music. When we come together, it just works.
I can't explain it.
You got your in-house production, man. That's dope.
Can't explain it. Yeah, like, it's been cool because, like, you know, I go over the house, I lay down what I'm feeling, and he just makes it happen.
And as of lately, I've been actually, which I've never done in the past, I'm actually doing his production on top of, he's recording his lyrics, I'm actually just doing the music on top of it. Like, he's not writing his lyrics to any of my music, I'm producing on top of his lyrics, which I've never done before, but it stretched me as an artist.
He's like Mickey Mouse and Fantasia, man. He's got the hat going and it's dope.
Wizard.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that harder?
I thought it was going to be harder, but I'm finding out it's easier, actually.
Because I would think just because of the phrasing and, you know, then you have to, I guess, put the music differently because the phrasing is already there, the words are there. I would think that would make it difficult.
Yeah, for some reason it's just been working for us. It's the chemistry that we've been having. Yeah, I know a while back I remember reading that RZA did it on one of his albums for one of the Wu-Tang albums that they did, that they laid all their vocals down and he did all the production on top of it. I remember being younger saying, wow, that's amazing. I didn't think, you know, people were actually doing that or actually thought about doing that. So when we started working together, he had a lot of material written and I didn't have the production for it yet. So we always wanted to work together. So I said, you know, we'll just keep on laying it down and I'll get back to it when I can and I'll just make the music on top of it. And that's what we've been doing.
Nice.
You'll release a whole album, just a click track.
That's it, man. That's it.
A whole click track. Track 2.
That's it. That's all I need.
Go.
But it's good because it takes a lot of pressure off of me. You know,
Trying to fit a track.
I just let him be himself. Yeah.
I mean, it's great. I mean, as a lyricist, you have freedom to write. You're not restricted to, this beat goes a certain way, and now all of a sudden you're trying to rap a certain way because the snare does this or the kick does that. You know, you're open to just let your thoughts flow. And I know you do spoken word stuff as well.
Right.
So, and you recently did some New York Poets Cafe. How was all that?
That was huge, and that's what kind of spurred me to, like, you know, just really start like putting my hands to the grind. You know, it was. I don't know how much you know about the New York Poetry Cafe or how much our listeners
I've heard a lot about it. I'm sure a lot of people
very cool. Even like I'd love to shout them out. What they're doing there is fantastic, and they've been doing it for like 50-something years down on, I think it's the lower east side of Manhattan. Yes. They open it up. It's a little place, a little bar in the back, and it fits about maybe 120 people max. And you know, you get all walks of life people in there. And the first 15 poets get in, so you have to get there early to sign up, or else you won't get a spot to perform. And I mean, the first night I went there, I mean, I was going through a lot of personal things, like inside my heart, inside my head, and I was a mess. I was a complete mess. And I hopped on the train from Jersey, put my headphones on, and I felt as though it was like. As much of a mess my life was, that God was taking this train ride with me. And I remember signing up, I remember being nervous, and I remember being on stage for my first poem. And it's dead silent, and it's packed. There's probably 120 people packed in this place, right? And none of them are talking about God at all, right? And I said, you know, like, I'm just gonna do it, right? So I say my first poem, and the crowd goes nuts, bananas, right? And I'm like watching this all taken in and saying, I can't believe I'm in this moment right now. So I make it to the second round. They voted me into the second round because it's all judged by the audience. So I make it to the second round of 5 poets. And this was the very cool thing that happened to me during the second poem. As I was sharing my second poem, there was a part where in the poem I'm talking to God. And while I was on stage, even though it was packed with all these people, and my life was such a mess, I felt as though everybody faded away, and it was just like, it was me and God. For 4 bars of this poem, it was me and it was God. And I felt as though I was saying things that I needed to say, and I felt that He was just there. And it changed something, you know, inside of me. And I scored second place that night, and it was a wonderful feeling. I thought I was going to win it. They said I got robbed.
Second place is a win already.
Yeah,
but
it was a win. And I remember leaving that place that night saying, because you never really know where you stand amongst your peers. Right. You're always questioning, like, you know, and these are people that make their living off of poetry, right? And I said, wow, like, this is pretty incredible. So I went back last month again. I did really well again, and it was just a great place for me.
How far did you go the second time?
I made it to the second round again, and score-wise, I didn't keep up with the score as well as I did the first night, but I was told by the end by a big gentleman that looked like Biggie Smalls that I got robbed again. so to me, I won that night. I thought he was going to beat me.
He would have told you didn't get robbed. You got to say, okay, whatever you say.
Yeah, like I was trusting his opinion. He swallowed my hand with his hand, and I remember he was like, "Bro, you got robbed. Like you were my favorite," and that was like cool to me to hear that.
Right.
Like it was cool.
Well, especially in that environment, because again, we're called to preach the gospel to those that are lost, those that are in need, those that are struggling as well. And not to say that because they're at the New Eureka Poets Cafe, they're struggling, but chances are, like you said, there's people from all walks of life here.
Yeah.
So chances are there's somebody in that audience that needed to hear something that's being said, and unfortunately, a lot of the stuff being said has no moral, spiritual value.
It's rough. I blushed a couple times that night.
Really?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt, I was blushing.
Were you second guessing yourself, like, what the heck am I doing here?
No, I felt at home.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny because, like, I don't know how much you know about us, but our parents own a tavern in Bayonne, and we grew up right above the tavern. So we were raised in a bar atmosphere, me and my brother, all of us. We were, like, when we came home after school, we cleaned the bar bathrooms. Like, the bar culture was very much a part of our lives. I mean, working there, the whole 9 yards. So in those environments, I feel most at home.
People would never guess that.
No, probably not. But it was funny, like we were talking on the way up here. I never felt totally at home in the bar, and I never felt totally at home in the church. It's weird, but I think our music reflects that middle line.
That's really interesting because your surroundings become part of who you are.
Correct. Yeah.
It's like me, born and raised in the Bronx, in the South Bronx, a lot of mean streets or whatever. And I'm not necessarily scared to walk into a lot of these neighborhoods that other people come to the Bronx and like, yo, I ain't going over there. I was like I used to live there. It's okay. But, they're not going to kill you. You're all right. But it's because you get comfortable in the environment. Not comfortable, oblivious comfortable, but just, your surroundings a little better. So you're a little comfortable. Doesn't mean you have to be a part of what's going on, but you're more aware of it, and you know how much danger there is or isn't. Most of the time it's just exaggerated danger.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah,
it's all up to the individual. You take a bad person to a good neighborhood, that's how they say there goes the neighborhood. So how about church? Like what church are you worshiping at now? What do you attend?
I'm at right now. Me and my wife are attending a church called Renaissance Church. It's in Summit, New Jersey. So that's where.
Okay.
That's where we're at.
Are you working in ministry at all? There,
No. Me and my wife have taken some time off to just
soak it in,
concentrate on us as a family. So
nice.
That's important.
Yeah, nice. Definitely important, especially with your family. Do you attend the same church?
No, we go to Calvary in Cranford.
Oh, Calvary in Cranford. Nice. So you guys got Jersey on lockdown.
Yeah,
Good Wolf, Bad Wolf, taking over New Jersey. He's trying to be all humble about it, but he's a lyrical beast. I'm gonna put you on the spot. We're gonna actually listen to a song of yours.
Okay.
That was on Rapfest Presents Volume 3.
Correct.
Produced by 3D Remedy.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
The song's called Silence. But what I want to do, I want to flip it a bit because I'm gonna abuse your lyrical skills here. I want you to give us a little a cappella piece of anything, a poem or something, maybe something you did at the Poets Cafe, before we go into this track.
Bro, spit the last line to that to the rapper's one.
All right. I was 15 and a half when my father walked in the room and saw a noose around my throat. I was floating like a balloon, back and forth like a pendulum. I didn't want his hands to touch. Oh wait, this is so brand new. It's in my head. I wrote it the other day.
Exclusive, right here on Rapfest Radio. Take 2.
Hold on a second, Bert. I gotta get it right in my head. You put me on the spot. I would have been prepared. Can I prepare it in my head first and then say it afterwards?
We'll play the song first.
Do that and then I'll
we'll
split
come
it.
back.
Yeah.
I put him on the spot.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Rapfest.
It's okay. We'll forgive you this time.
All right, sounds good.
When we come back, there's no forgiveness.
No forgiveness.
No forgiveness.
No forgiveness.
Yo, check it out. This song is called Silence. At the time, he went by the name of Yosh Mysko.
Correct, yeah.
Mysko, right?
Correct, yeah.
That was a great testimony on its own. We might even come back and just give a little bit of that because that was great. By the name of Yosh Mysko, produced by 3D Remedy from Rap Fest Presents Volume 3. The song is called Silence. Check it out here on Rap Fest Radio, rapfestradio.com. We're going to come back with that a cappella.
Silence, my lips are knitted in stitches. My bones are exposed to the coldness of witches. Which are fixed by no elixir. The picture depicted ripped from the scripts of Pixar. A bloody mess covered in what I won't keep. A shepherd being slaughtered in the courtyard of my sheep. Deep love flows from a road of no sleep. Ripped from my soul even though I hold each. Far from the poems that I'm told are both peep. No teeth broken by the fists of Rome's reach. On my heart beach, on the breach of my heart's beat. March me even though I'm ripped apart by shark teeth. With every bone broken and muscle ripped open. R-rated movie moving in slow motion. Ever try to cry and have your tear ducts fail? Nailed like a poster to the pole in the air. A medical spectacle, death-defying credible. Until my heart breaks, my face just ain't acceptable. Oh my, the atmosphere just changed. The breeze on the back of my neck just switched lanes. Goosebumps, my heart moves to 2 drums. That bangs like a bat out of hell, it's Duke Nukem. Futuristic Lucifer rude with a new crew cut. Ruling by the blood that he pulls in a cruel juice cup. Gone is his trident, he stole from Poseidon. An angel of light is the ride he resides in. He strikes at your weakness, reach for peace, priestess. Beaches and cream are dream for deep secrets. Presented with whiskey that's served by Diablo. Flickers of flames of pity and a sticker than Bosco. Really God's son, does he love me like one? Would I let go of his will? What will I become? I rule and reign intergalactically among the 125 billion galaxies. Do you understand the numbers or how far my reach is? More planets than grains of sand on the Earth's beaches. Real voice speaks, things just get invented. My brain brings reality to what you play pretend with. The world is an atom compared to what I hold. My fiber optics cosmic, microscopically bold. Wandering stars, guess who's warring with Mars? It's the rogue vocalist with no armored guard. The Jews had it right when they wouldn't write my name. I am majestic, known as Y.A. The rider of the wind, which I ride like a highway. My presence brings the butterflies of a blind day. Viking gear is how my soul dresses. Hooded sweatshirt made from the pelt of snow leopards. In the heat of battle, I'll saddle a pterodactyl and last time I'll babble back from the scraps of Adam's apple. I'm barbaric, hard as a carved relic, embellished in the same stuff that the stars relish. A ticking time bomb in the dust of an icon, set to detonate when my finger flicks the mic on. It's lights out and lights on, my right out is right on. Lies in the balance in the eyes of a python. I need men who grow beards and bleed red. Each step brings us to a tree where we meet death. Come hella high water, come a set of high orders. High order, you forfeits men who die for you spectacular. Rip the fangs out of Dracula, crack open the world's wealth to save Africa. The mission's vivid, it's knitted inside my fitted with stitches designed to quicken a desert dime for liquid.
Silence, Yosh Mysko, produced by 3D Remedy. And I mean, that track is crazy.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Few years old already. What's like 3 years now?
It's gotta be, yeah.
At least 3 years old. And I think it still holds up now. Like if we were to rock that like we did now, I'm sure people are like, yo, that's dope. Where could I get it? I don't know. I don't even know where we could get Rap Fest Presents Volume 3 anymore. It's out there somewhere. Just do a Google search for Rap Fest Presents Volume 3. You'll find it. There's Volume 1, 2, and 3 out there. At the time, you went by the name of Yosh Mysko.
Yes.
And I was saying before, there's a great testimony behind that. Even though you're not using the name anymore, but it's relevant to the song we just heard, I think it'd be great if you just share a little bit of that testimony, because I think it'll allow people to see more into your mind and how you're thinking.
Okay, yeah. Yosh Mysko is... That name was the name of my parents' first bartender that we ever had. His name was actually Al, but they called him Yosh, and his last name was Mysko. And the reason why I was going by that name for a little bit, because for so much of my life, a lot of my writing has been to save and to save people's minds and to have them think and to save people's hearts and to have them be moved. All through growing up, the guy Al, our bartender, he smoked these Chesterfield cigarettes. They were like these nasty, unfiltered cigarettes. And I remember every day coming home saying, Tiger, his nickname was Tiger. I said, Tiger, you gotta quit smoking. You gotta quit smoking. And he'd always say, yeah, I'm trying to quit smoking. I'm trying. And he would try for like a day, but you know, he'd always have another pack rolled up in his sleeve. And he was just a real good guy. And a lot of my early heroes were guys in the bar, and they were great guys. They were men I respected, and I went by that name to keep me grounded and to keep me remembering like who I respected, who I was always trying to save, and who I loved.
Wow, that's great, man. It's the personal connection.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
Which is always good, especially as a writer. You want to have that personal connection. Something has to keep you grounded. I'm not going to let you off the hook. We said we would come back and you give us something out the
Sure.
And get ready. And I'm telling you from now, at the end of the show, we're going to do that again.
Okay. Sounds good. Someone once told me you're the angel of death, or the grim reaper, or the devil himself. You see, no one ever told me that you dressed in white robes, boldly turned black from the fight in men's souls. Breathe man, he my Skeletor, the demon, blackbird screaming nevermore. Bowie in my neck slow, my killer's echo, whispered like a gentleman, son, I'm not the devil, let go. Silver coins on my eyelids, iris fades to a bass played by Primus, shoreline. I died on the wrong side, the boatman smiled and bolted his rawhide. In hell on a lava lake, we bob up and down in a somber state. The gates of hell have a mamba face, with onyx eyes nirvana breaks. My name was listed, written in blood, from the people that I hurt but said that I loved. Led to a throne that was made out of guns. It was cushioned by skulls and stuffed with tongues. They beat off bones on the skins of drums. The king looked up and my soul was hung. I'm afraid, a puppet being pulled by chains on a stage in hell where I have no name. My audience is those thrown out of heaven in droves, sickos who get a kick out of kids with no clothes, humiliated. Was this what God had created? He made it all in 7 days. Is it wrong if I hate it? Does Jesus dream of Kevin? Alive with no strings, the way that heaven dreams of Jesus. Die with no sting, I'm soulless. Alone in the snow globe's coldness, shaken every now and again from dead moments. I cry with no tears, I touch and don't feel in the clutches of everyone's life yet not real. May the weight of your glory fall on me, I long to breathe even if I was born to bleed. Hands high, laugh, cry, ask who, what, when, where, why. Look you in the eyes for the answer of who am I. I need you to know that I believe you. I'm see-through, I see through ghosts, won't let me reach you. Grab me, collapse back, Raggedy Andy, candy colored clothes, low blowed, oh it can't be. Jiminy Cricket, who electrified my biscuit, a flush face with color and bright red lipstick. It's glorious to have a heart that actually beats, blasting my feet past the grasp of gravity's reach. It's something out of sci-fi, my world's been tie-dyed, flybys of angels dangling high fives. This is the time where everything changes. I let go of everything I thought was amazing, dive down. My crown is found in ashes, with sounds of color and rounds of flashes, I thought you knew it was my turn. My rebirth's birth is first to make I spurn. Ridiculous, twizzled like sticks of licorice, riddled by the whittling wit of his gibberish. Supernatural, marvels out of exploits. Bomb records black with my Funkmaster Flex voice. Emerged from the smoke like a velvet Elvis with soot-stained dickies and a melted helmet.
Yeah, buddy.
Is that okay?
That's great, man. That's good stuff, man. You know, it's funny because there's a sound in hip hop right now that most people have, but I can't put you in that category, you know, because I think you have a unique writing technique that could really be, you know, could stand out, which is great because that's what you want. I mean, you could either easily fall under the category of this, that, or that, and just, you know, get lost in the shuffle, or you can, you know, strive for excellence in what you do and stand out. You know, so I think you really have something powerful there in your writing skills. I just definitely wanted to tell you that. Man, that's good. However, I do have some beef with you, man.
All right, go for it.
You've been living under a rock. Where have you been for the past 3 years since that song? Because you really haven't been doing anything. And I know I remember catching your Facebook post at the Poets Cafe. It's like, oh, I remember that guy. That's Kevin. That's Yosh Mysko. Look what he's doing now. That's cool. But what transpired in those years? Did you just stop?
I never really stopped. It was kind of like you know, like, remember the Batman Returns thing? My boy was in like some kind of Siberian prison. That's where I've been. Like,
you're in a Siberian prison.
Yeah, man. Like, you know, or here's another visual for you. Like, remember Rocky was it Rocky 3 when Clever Lines like watching all these fighters, and he's you know he's putting his work in. He's just watching everything happen. That's kind of how I
that's
feel.
no good.
What do you mean that's no good?
Because you're not watching everything that's happening.
In my life, I am.
Not in the music world,
no,
though.
not in the music world. Like,
how do you do it? I mean, and I say this because we had a conversation before going on air, and, you know, Kevin's telling me, yeah, you know, I haven't really been listening to a lot of the stuff that's going on out there, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But as an artist, I'm just wondering, like, how do you maintain your, I don't know, like how do you know what's going on? Like I said, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for you, you know, to just write with no comparison level, because now it's all strictly on you. But how does that work? Like, I've never done that. I've always been like, I want to know what's going on with everybody. I want to hear every song that comes out, good, bad, ugly, whatever it is.
Yeah. To be honest with you, the Poetry Cafe really opened my eyes to how I am and what I'm capable of and what other artists are really capable of. Like, to me, those poetry cafes are the real deal. Like, that's the underground role. You know, that's the underground feel. That's where poets are really trying to make it. Poets who really craft their skills, and it's like raw. It's rugged. It's like that Clubber Lang feel where you're studying other artists and it's just raw to me. It's just real. So you get instant feedback.
What made you come out from under this rock that Bert to start,
going to the cafes and stuff like that?
Yeah, and well, are you writing with an intent to what? To start ministering again? To just do the cafes? What's the goal now?
That's a great question, and to be completely honest with you guys, is my life is a bit of a mess right now, and the music is saving me. If that makes any sense. Yeah. Like the writing, like if I have a rough day, the writing is when I write, I feel God close, and I'm able to process what's happening in my life, and I'm able to, as raw as my writing is, and as borderline as some people might say it is, it's for real. You know what I mean?
Like, your healing.
And it's part of my healing for sure. It's I can't explain it any other way than like I'm a bit broken, and this is my way to just connect with God.
Wow.
It's your type of worship,
yeah.
Like the old gospel songs. Just say the name. You have nothing else to say. Just say the name of Jesus, and you just feel this, relief in your soul, your spirit, your heart, your mind. It's like, thank you, God. And
also writing from your brokenness.
It comes easy. It's crystal clear.
Easy, yeah, because you're at that point where it's so fresh.
Exactly.
And it's so easy just to. Sometimes we can't, like Bert said. Sometimes we can't even put into words what we're going through. And like for me, I'm a worshiper. So if I'm going through something, it's easy just to break on a song and start worshiping. So you as a rapper, or a poet, it's so much easier to put it into words.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
And just let it flow on paper. And I think that's going to be one of your greatest works, because you're writing out of your brokenness, and you're going to reach people that are at their brokenness.
It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, for sure.
Let me just speak on that regarding brokenness, just for the benefit of those people that are out there listening. And please take it in context when I say, just because you're broken, what we're saying doesn't mean go write a song and you're an artist tomorrow. It doesn't mean that. If you're broken, yes, God can still use you. It could be something else. Maybe you're, an usher, a deacon, whatever. It could be anything. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to write a song tonight in your brokenness and all of a sudden be accepted in your church as the next big artist and tour the world. That's not going to happen. Every single person is different. But in your brokenness, God can use you. It could be in the simplest things, and you may not even realize how God is using you, but He is. And your life will be the testimony of that, and how you conduct yourself and just the things you say, the way you act with other people will take your brokenness and heal it if you submit your will to God. because you could stay broken forever. You could write in your brokenness and just stay broken. That's not what God intends for us. You know, like you said, you're broken, you're writing, you're feeling that healing.
Exactly.
You know, because to stay broken makes no sense. You know, we have enough broken artists out there. we don't need that.
For sure.
But this is great, man. Well, I'm really excited for where God is leading you with this new project. Could we call it a new project coming out?
Without doubt, yeah.
Because I mean, Good Wolf, Bad Wolf, the concept alone, like I said, just speaks volumes. You know, I saw the image on the banner on your Facebook page, had the two wolves.
For sure.
I mean, those are great pictures. You could almost envision a video. I don't know if you're scared of animals, but
no.
Okay, just want to make sure. You know, that might be a good music video in the making. You know, I don't know if you ride a wolf or you just run with it or run from it, whatever it is. But what are the people in your church or in your neighborhood, or if you've ministered in churches, like what is their reaction to what you're doing now? Musically, from your brokenness.
Nobody's heard it yet.
Nobody's heard it yet. No. This is exclusive stuff here?
Yeah, without a doubt, yeah. The only people that have heard it is the people at the Poetry Cafe.
Wow. So, okay, so let me ask you then.
Yeah.
What do you anticipate the response to be from those people that knew the Yosh Mysko years?
I don't know. But I don't know, but I do know what it is real. And
what's your gut feeling saying, like, oh, when somebody hears this, they're gonna say, this kid is for real. This isn't bubbles and rainbows. This is real life, and everybody's going through something, right? So, yeah, no, absolutely. And what has been the hardest I guess the hardest experience for you to write about that you've gone through, if you don't mind sharing?
I really can't, because it's still so close to home. You know?
Okay.
So, because I'm going through it now. So, like, the writing is super fresh and it's so close to home.
So this interview is part of your writing process?
Without a doubt, yeah.
Wow.
And you doing production knowing where he's coming from?
No, it's actually, I remember the first day, one of the first songs that we completed, at the end of the song, he says to me, hey, listen, by the way, I don't want nobody to listen to this song until, so I'm going bonkers, this song's crazy, like, you know, to me, what do you mean nobody can listen to it? That's all I want to do is just, hey, listen to this, what we do. For him to be like, yo, listen, I don't want nobody to listen to it. It's just to show on how much, you know, how much he put time, effort, and pain into writing that song, whatever. He just wants to put out a complete package, so you don't just hear one song kind of come up with a view. You hear the whole thing in one shot.
But musically speaking, has it changed the production aspect of how you normally write? Because he's writing from a different place.
No, because my production hasn't changed. Because my style's always been as it was since I'm 13 years old. That hasn't changed. But for him, it's exciting for me because my music's always been almost more on the dark and creepy side when you listen to it. So he's bringing that out. So we're actually complementing each other a lot more now than we did in the past. That's all it is. It's actually pretty exciting.
So you guys are like, you know, literally like preaching to yourselves as you write and produce and stuff, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of times the target audience, like right now there is no target audience, I would say, for you.
No, to be honest with you, all this is my therapy.
Right, but that's good. But that's good because a lot of times we ask people, like, what's your target audience? Yo, I'm doing this for the streets. I'm doing this for the people in church. I'm doing this for the teenagers. I'm just doing this for me.
Yeah.
You know, and we need to find that place, you know, like that secret place where just you and God, and allow Him to speak through you. And if the old track is any evidence of what we could expect coming, as at least stylistically speaking, I'm excited. Have you changed styles at all, or?
No, I actually think that I've gotten better.
Yeah,
for sure. Without, I'm not trying to. I just think that because of the experiences I'm going through, the writing is razor sharp. Like, it's fresh, it's razor sharp. The images are there. It's so close to home, and it's so real to me that the gift is like lasered in.
So you do realize, like, when I put this up on YouTube, I'm going to tag you on it on Facebook.
Yeah, for sure. Your
friends and family will see it.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, what do you think their reaction might be to knowing that you're writing from this place of brokenness and you?
I have no idea, but I'm not afraid.
Really? No, that's cool. That's cool.
I was taken back by it personally, you know, being one of his brothers in his family. When I first started hearing some of his music, when he came in and started, I even said to myself, "Are you really going through this?" Like, you know, it was surprising to me because I had no idea. You know, Kevin's a real keeps to himself a lot of times, you know. So when you hear something like that come out, I was completely oblivious to that. You know, I thought Kevin's life was completely perfect. You know, from standing outside, you know, hey, he has a really stable household, everything, but you don't never know what happens behind people's closed doors. And to listen to his music now, it opened my eyes to be like, wow, you know, it was not that it was just I couldn't believe it. Actually, to be honest with you. Because I didn't know it was real. Like I always kept on telling him, like, you know, you could, you know, reach deeper and stuff. When I started hearing this new stuff coming out, I'm like, well, you've never written like this before in the past. What's going on? Then for me and him talking, I really had no idea.
And just a word of advice: writing from this place of pain, don't get stuck in pain.
No, without a doubt.
Because sometimes, you know, and I'm not saying you in particular, but sometimes when we start reflecting in our pain, we don't allow ourselves to heal because we keep opening the same wound over and over again. So when you get to this place where because sometimes you wouldn't even be able to write it, but when you get to the place where you're able to write it and you're able to put it to paper and you're able to start verbalizing it, let the healing also be part of the process. Yeah,
without a doubt. Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%.
You know, and just don't stay in the process. Don't stay in the pain. Because we need to allow God to heal. And we need to allow God to say, you know what, my son, I'm here. You know, in your brokenness, in your hurt, in your pain, I'm here, but don't forget that I'm here.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's good because there are artists out there in all realms, you know, Christian, secular, whatever. They'll go through an experience that's pretty bad.
They get stuck there for years.
Pretty bad, but then it's like, wow, people reacted well to that. Let's stay there.
We talked about that on the way up too.
Oh,
it's
really?
like, oh yeah, without a doubt. Like we were just not on this topic in particular, but you see that with so many artists. Like you said, their first album is awesome, right? But then they never progress, right? So their first album is awesome, and they try to repeat the first album, but it never really works, right?
If it's not real, it's not gonna work.
So they're not progressing. So you know what I mean? It's all part of each artist's journey, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and it's important. And I appreciate the fact that you're being so blunt and open in your music. I'm really looking forward to hearing it. Not to say I want to find out what's going on.
No,
you know,
for sure.
But to see how it's presented, you know, because that could also be used as a tool to help others, you know, maybe air out their pain. You know, for some that could be a therapy for.
Like, I'll ask your opinion since you're the only human being besides him who has heard this music. Not to tell me what it's about, but has what he's written helped you spiritually, or I know as a brother it probably has affected you emotionally?
And not so much that it was emotional, it's just the inspiration, because it's not that he's not dwelling on any of the stuff that he's going through. He's using it to just make great music. It's not that he's dwelling on any of the negatives. The music's still positive when you listen to it, because every message is just real stuff that he's saying throughout it, but it was just all inspirational because he's never had this much passion before on his previous.
How is it affecting you? Is it affecting you, you know, spiritually, to look at yourself differently? Is it because I'm just curious your opinion to see how someone else will react, and you're having this close bond. How is it?
I think people are gonna have the same reaction knowing Kevin, you know, like how he was on this last album compared to. I mean,
what reaction is that? That's what
I don't. It's gonna be almost like not unbelievable, but you don't see it coming from him. You know, I don't know how to put it unless you.
Is it edifying spiritually? Is it like, okay, he can go through this, I can go through this, I can go forward? Is it something that's gonna say, oh crap? You know?
No, I don't know how else to put it. No.
It might be a little bit of each.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, you can take it anyway. It's dope. For you to listen to it, it's really good music. That's all it is.
Yeah. And that's why, like I told him too on the way coming up, it's like I say to myself sometimes, if any good is going to come out of my pain, it's going to be the good of me honing in on the gift God has given me. If any good, you know what I mean? I'm going to use these emotions to drive a gift He's given me. You know what I mean? Right. If that makes any sense?
That makes sense.
Now, as an artist, we know that we don't just make music to air out our thoughts and put it on a CD and stop there. There has to be a more of a purpose behind what we're putting out and why. So I know we kind of asked this question, but I'm just going to ask it a different way. What do you want people to get out of your music when they finally do get to hear it?
I just want them to identify with it and enjoy it. You know what I mean? I really want them to say, hey, I see you, and you know what? That's for real, and it's helping me.
Yeah, because some people won't know what his lifestyle was before. You know, unless they see this video and they hear that stuff, or unless they're already a part of your circle of friends and acquaintances, they'll be like, oh wow, yo Kev, you know, everything cool. I heard your project. I know you're going through stuff. I hope everything's better now. You know, send a tweet of encouragement to G Wolf B Wolf. Definitely, that's always helpful. But you know, I'm just trying to kind of like what Alice said and just simmer there for a second, and like, if I got this project in my hand, like what am I gonna expect? You know, it's kind of like I don't know the exact verse in the Bible, but it says, I think David says, is it in David where he says like, if I make my bed here, you're there. From in the depths of hell, you're there. And that's what I kind of feel like this project is kind of like. It's like no matter like where I find myself, I'm recognizing that God is there. Psalm 139, right?
So
I think so.
So that's kind of the feel. Like I even want people to take away from it, kind of like, you know what, Kevin's there, but God's there too, and I'm here, but God's here too, you know, kind of thing.
Right.
No matter how low you sink,
God is there. God, and that's what I'm learning, even through like this whole process of writing this album. Like, no matter how deep I go, no matter where I lay my bed, God is always reminding me. Like I had a cool experience today that I was telling him about, where it's just like God is constantly reminding me, like, I'm here, you know, like I'm here, kind of thing. So it's cool.
Amen. I mean, and it's so important to always recognize that God is there and feel that.
For sure.
Because we hear it all the time. God is everywhere. God is with you. It's like, yeah, but do we really act like we know that? You know, and I think that's important, man. I'm encouraged just listening to you speak and being so open with. We struggle because a lot of times people hear these shows or interviews and they figure, oh, it's Christian hip hop. All these Christian rappers, they're doing good. They're fine. Life is great. You know, they have no worries. They have God. But as a human, we struggle.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know, we have all different types of struggles, and I say different types of struggles, but they're the same struggles everybody else has.
Of course.
You know, for us, they seem to magnify more because people are already saying, but don't you know God? I say, yeah, I do, but that doesn't mean I'm perfect. You know, so again, I also pray that when people hear it, they can identify and find healing in it as well.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting album 2 to be the healing project. You know, those are gone. Now this is what's up now. You know, you know, and you don't do like, you know, those other artists that they try to find pain so they can write about it and come back out. You know, and so is your wife excited about the project? Is she scared?
She like I have her listen to every track that I do, and my wife is funny because she doesn't understand like rap music at all. Like even like lyrically, like my wife, she's into softball, right? So she's very like sports driven, and I'm not into sports at all, right? So it's funny, like when she talks about sports, I don't have a clue what she's talking about, but I'm excited for her and I'm rooting for her, right? Like when she says like and when I talk about music, like I know she doesn't have a clue on what I'm talking about, but I know she's excited for me and she's rooting for me.
That's good. That's good, man. Well, we're excited as well. We haven't even heard it yet, and I'm saying I'm excited.
You're gonna hear some tonight after the show.
Oh,
so you can tweet about it later.
If you guys behave, I'll leave the camera on, but I won't tell them. I'll leave the camera on. I won't tell them. It's like the hidden track. Just stay on for another 20 minutes after we're done. No, but that's definitely encouraging to know that that you're back, or not that that you went anywhere, but that you're recording again.
For sure, yeah.
You know, it's always good. There are a lot of new artists out there. I know you've been living under a rock for a couple of years.
The rock is good sometimes.
The rock is
yes, the rock is good. Yeah.
Sometimes we need that.
Yeah.
And sometimes we need to, and it's very mature of you to recognize that it's okay to say, you know what, I just need to sit out and I need to just soak in for a while because I'm a mess.
Right, exactly.
And it's okay to say that. Sometimes we like, oh man, I can't do that because the pastor's going to say this and you know. But sometimes we do need that. And I applaud your maturity in being able to say, you know, I need to pull back because I'm broken. And sometimes you're not going to heal if you continue in the race.
Right.
Sometimes you need to rest and you need to strengthen and let God's perfection shine through your imperfection. So it's a good thing.
And all my favorite superheroes spent time under the rock. Bert, Wolverine, Batman, right? They all had, when they came back, you were rooting for them, right?
Yeah.
You were, man.
Wait for Batman Returns.
No doubt, no doubt.
Like, finally!
Escaping from Bane's prison, you were rooting for him. Don't tell me you weren't. For sure,
It's good, man. It's good, man. And to be working with your brother must be great.
It is great. Yeah.
It's a whole different feel.
You know what it is? It's I trust them 100%, right? So it's like when I lay vocals down, I can leave, and I don't have to worry about a thing musically. Nothing. I just trust what he's gonna do.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's really cool.
That's great. The built-in production.
Yeah, it's great.
Good Wolf, Bad Wolf. They're working on a new project that should be out whenever he says.
No, we're shooting for what, next December?
Yeah, next.
100% should be done, full album.
Yeah.
Next December, like following year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Following year. So we're talking serious project.
Yeah.
It's not just
it's gonna be a full album. Yeah.
a full album.
But every track has a piece of my heart and soul, and I know it's got a piece of his heart and soul. So like you ever hear albums and you're like, yeah, I like track 2 and 10. The rest was all right. Like for us, like he even said, Kev, if it doesn't give me goosebumps, it's out. So we record, we work until it gives us goosebumps, and then it's in.
Nice. So. That sounds great, man. That sounds great, and hopefully, you could tease America with a single or something.
No, that's definitely
sometime this year.
No, yeah,
wait till next year. December is a long time to where I'm like.
No, we were pushing for at least 3 songs we want to have out by this December. Okay. 3 songs out there, to give them a taste before everything gets finalized.
Nice. Well, again, we're looking forward to it. We appreciate you guys coming out here. We just pray that God will continue to bless you lyrically, mentally, spiritually, physically, and all. I know.
Thank you.
You're still at the fire department.
Yeah, still working hard. Yeah.
So that's hard work. Protection there too, because it's crazy out there.
It's very crazy.
So you got to stay safe as well, and because you have to perform and minister, and you can't do that if you're not feeling well. You got to make sure. So we're gonna end with a video by Dwayne Tryumf. It's a live video he did of a song called African Drum. But again, before we go, I'm going to ask Mr. Kevin here to lay some lyrics on us. Again, it's GWolf BWolf on Twitter. Make sure you follow them. That's at GWolf BWolf. We'll be posting this on YouTube and stuff later, so you guys can check it out as well. If you want to play it back for your friends that are probably broken and going through something, this could be an encouragement to them, to tell them not to give up, but to dig deep and seek healing, whether it be through this kind of music or any other kind of music or art form that they're involved in. That it's not a time to give up, but a time to dig deeper and find healing. If we had to name this podcast, I would say that healing in your brokenness. We don't name the podcast, just the episode number.
I like the episode number.
The episode number is easy. Yeah. It just flows right there. But again, keep up with us on Twitter as well, at RapFest Radio. Don't forget you can get this on YouTube later on, and also on Facebook and all that stuff. Just keep following us, and we appreciate you guys watching us. Next week we have another artist who's been away for a little while, but away from New York. He was like in Puerto Rico for a while. Abdiel, he's a Spanish gospel hip hop artist as well. He actually went with us when we did RapFest 2003, I want to say, or 2004. We had an opportunity to go to WNJU Channel 47, the Spanish network, in their early morning show called Wake Up America, and it was a lot of fun.
It was, yeah.
I mean, I was blown away just by the studio itself. I was like, wow, this place it's like real TV. It's not just a little RapFest Radio type setup. This is like real. And they were singing a song called, I'll translate, it's called we Don't Carry Gats Anymore. This is what we have. And they had their Bibles in their hand. And after they were finished, there was another show that was going to happen in like the following half hour. And the hosts were sitting down in their studio section over there. Big, nice thing. And they called the guys over and said, hey, come here. What is that song about? Oh, they went in. They were ministering to them. I was like, that's it. We're done. This is all we came for. We were hoping to reach the millions of people watching the show, and it was just for those 2 people in the audience, in the studio right there. So yeah, Abdiela will be here with us next week. So make sure you tune in, same time, 8 to 9, right here on RapFest Radio. Acapella piece coming up right now. Kevin Becker in the building.
Screw the wheelchair, slam it into the hospital room. The doctors assume I'm a product of popular tunes. Rip the IVs out of my veins, the battle contains rattling chains from the columns of Saddam Hussein. Turn this cotton robe into a Spartan toga that glows. A soldier who rolls into a glory only he knows. Feel sorry for myself no more. I'm a matador, tackling cattle, the ramshackle, the magical lore. A luchador, dressed in black on the back of a unicorn. My uniform gets torn whenever they turn the music on. Incredible Hulk-ish. I'm green with ripped jeans. I scream in thick streams. I bleed in thick dreams. Who's laughing now? The earth quakes when I smash the ground. Cast my crown in questions of ashes of what I'm asking now. Reach for us while I exhaust all of our resources. Need for speed forces us to smack the back of our seahorses. Don't let what you see fool you. There's glory inside. I bring the ruler and school you what to measure me by. I was ready to die, but now I'm ready to fly. Fill up my gas tank, homie, cause I'm ready to ride. I got the ghost of old man Mickey rapping my knuckles. Buckle to no man, scuffle, double trouble, rebuttal. Silly rabbit, my muscles come from holding the planet. Atlas got shrugged while I was hugging unhuggable magnets. I'm afraid of the dark no longer with lights off. I see by spirit with no need for my eyeballs. I call, he hears, he calls, I hear. Right here, right now, I'm in the right gear. A flute being played by the master flutist. Flutes a tune that'll loosen the noose of Judas. The fun stops once my lyrical gun cocked. Unlock the doors before you get unboxed. I reign from a fortress guarded by Chuck Norris, swinging his sword while on board a Tyrannosaurus. I write, cause when I do I feel God close, enveloped in his wings. I sing love notes, can't fathom heaven and earth, smash atoms, the reaction of a guitar in the hands of Clapton, Houdini. I wonder, no one believed me. On the shores of a different realm, enjoying the sea breeze, a slow start like Noah with no ark. Bogart, atomical strings, give him the Mozart.
Good stuff, man. Can't wait for that project to come out. Again, Good Wolf, Bad Wolf. Stay tuned. Don't forget, follow on Twitter at GWolfBWolf. Rapfest Radio, rapfestradio.com. You will learn this because we are out of control. Coming up, African Drum, recorded live by Mr. Dwayne Tryumf. See you guys next week. Peace. God bless.
But there is coming that day when the Lord will crack the sky, and every eye will see him. Every eye shall behold him. And he's going to bring judgment like an African drum. Trust me. Run it when you're ready. Yeah. So, rock so yeah. Hey, Tryumf yeah. Boom. Worries in the dance. Let's go. Jesus of Nazareth, resurrected Lazarus, killed instead of Barabbas, healed the sick and powerless, threatened by the Pharisees, questioned by the high priest, frightened his disciples when he walked upon the high seas. Who is he? Savior and the Son of God. Reason with the teachers and the leaders in the synagogue, reaching unbelievers like Zacchaeus in the sycamore tree. Read Luke 19 and it will give you more. More than a man, they call him, and they couldn't kill him till he finished fulfilling the will of Elohim. And if you think that Jesus ain't coming back, when you hear the thunderclap, you'll be like, what was that? Worries. Sorry, judgment like African drum. Lord, I'm so happy, happy. You make me clap it, clap it. Lord, I'm so happy, happy. You make me clap it, clap it. Sorry, judgment like African drum now. Lord, I'm so happy, happy. You make me clap it, clap it. Lord, I'm so happy, happy. The planets and the powers and the stars connect. When I raise my hands in worship, all the devils hit the deck. Through the desire to swim in the river of fire, I saw the eyes of the Messiah was calling me higher, to prophesy to the revived Roman Empire, to get ready for the return of Moses and Elijah. But when the sky gets brighter, it's the sun sitting on a horse, he's a rider. Ultimate fighter, tatted up, king of kings, not the Lord, singing him, all applause. Stronger than a unicorn, liver tight in the empire. The Nazarite baby was born. Straight your hair longer than a bubble jet. Jesus in the office of Melchizedek. Coming in on the red eye with a double-edged sword, what's the head spline? Solid judgment like an African drum now. Lord, I'm so happy, happy. You make me clap it, clap it. Lord, I'm so happy, happy. You make me clap it, clap it. Solid judgment like an African drum now. Lord, I'm so happy, happy. You make me clap it, clap it. Lord, I'm so happy, happy. You make me clap it, clap it. I inhabit eternity as my residential, but still the people are trying to rebuild a temple. For me to dwell in the midst of evil is only temporal. From the days of Noah to Sodom and Gomorrah, the wrath of God will get bloody like a manga horror. I spare the man of honor, wicked the cannon fodder. It's God who ran upon you, we roll the cannon for you. My wrath is at the soul of a lunar eclipse. Desolations decreed and sent from my lips. On the Gentiles, the Jews who do wickedness, I swore in my wrath they'll never enter my wrist.
Sunny judgment like African drum. Lord, I'm so happy, happy. You make me clappy, clappy. Lord, I'm so happy, happy. You make me clappy, clappy. Sunny judgment like African drum now. Lord, I'm so happy, happy. You make me clappy, clappy. Lord, I'm so happy, happy. You make me clappy, clappy. Rock so yeah. Tryumf yeah. Worries in the dance.
Sunny judgment like a African. So happy, happy.